No engines, no planes, no ships. Yet ancient humans conquered every corner of Earth on foot. How did our ancestors do it? Let's go back. Over 100,000 years ago in Africa, a tiny group fought to survive. Unknowingly, they became the ancestors of everyone alive today. Life was tough, but curiosity drove them. They looked beyond familiar grasslands toward distant, unexplored horizons. Something out there was calling to them. It began with sharpened stone. Simple hand axes allowed them to butcher, dig, and hunt efficiently, giving early humans their very first real edge. Then came fire. It provided warmth, cooked meals, and kept dark predators at bay. Fire turned survival into community, giving them room to think. Small families joined into larger bands. Strength in numbers meant shared hunting, safety, and collective problem solving. This was the dawn of human cooperation. They learned to read nature like a map, tracks, broken twigs, and disturbed grass. These subtle clues guided them through unknown terrain for generations. When a rushing river blocked their path, they didn't stop. Joining hands, they waded across together, proving obstacles were just problems to solve. As populations grew, a familiar land felt small. Driven by restlessness, they faced their toughest challenge yet, crossing a brutal, unforgiving desert. Day after day, they pushed through blistering heat. Exhausted and parched, they kept walking, fueled by the hope of better land ahead. Then, a life-saving oasis. Fresh water and shade restored their strength, giving them the vital push needed to enter brand new lands. Beyond the desert lay the Middle East, a fertile haven of new wildlife and plants. Yet every step meant adapting to unfamiliar dangers. They engineered sturdier shelters using branches, mud, and hides. Every new harsh environment made them more innovative, resilient, and capable. Unpredictable weather tested their limits. They adapted by reinforcing walls and storing food early. Survival meant staying one step ahead of nature. Hunting became a team sport. Together, they brought down massive prey, feeding the whole band and pushing further into uncharted territory. The path split. Some headed into Europe, while others turned toward Asia's towering mountain ranges. A single decision that shaped whole continents. They faced jagged, freezing mountain passes. The air grew thin, and nights turned brutally cold, but their relentless grit kept them climbing. To survive freezing winds, they tailored thick animal furs, creating humanity's first true clothing and unlocking survival in icy, cold climates. Faced with deep water, they didn't turn back. Instead, they lashed heavy logs together, inventing the first simple rafts to cross. Floating across safely, water was no longer an impassable barrier. It became a brand new highway to explore deeper into the unknown. Reaching ocean shores, they unlocked a rich new diet, shellfish and fish. Coastal foraging became one of humanity's most successful expansion strategies. When tribes met, knowledge expanded. They traded spear designs and hunting secrets, making every involved community smarter and stronger together. Gazing up at night, they mapped star patterns across seasons. This growing sky knowledge would eventually guide sailors across vast, open oceans. Then, climate struck. The Ice Age began, dropping global temperatures and transforming landscapes, ocean levels, and migration routes across the planet. Snow covered ancient trails and rivers froze solid. But as ocean levels plummeted, vast hidden land bridges emerged from beneath the waves. A massive land bridge appeared, Beringia, connecting Asia to North America. It became a crucial frozen gateway into a completely unpopulated world. They stepped onto endless frozen tundra. Sub-zero winds bit through furs, but their stubborn determination kept them moving forward into the cold. Wild wolves trailed their camps for food scraps. Over time, mutual caution melted into trust, forging a bond that changed history forever. These wolves became humanity's first domesticated animal, loyal hunting partners and guardians who walked alongside us through the Ice Age. To endure freezing nights, they built bone and ice shelters. Packed tight, shared body heat kept everyone alive through deadly Arctic storms. When fierce blizzards roared, they huddled together with their wolves inside, calmly waiting out the dark hours until the storm passed. Emerging into quiet, sunlit snow, they gathered their gear, called their dogs, and resolutely continued their trek across the frozen world. Ahead lay Beringia, a vast, misty corridor. It was the final obstacle separating the old world from continents no human had ever seen. They crossed together over cracking ice and wind-blown plains. Exhausting and dangerous, this walk populated 2 entire continents. Massive woolly mammoths roamed this icy landscape. A single successful mammoth hunt provided meat, furs, and bones to sustain a band for weeks. Just as their ancestors tracked game in Africa, they followed herds across snow, proving core survival skills worked anywhere on Earth. Nightly campfires offered warmth and community. Around these sparks, basic survival evolved into rich oral tradition and cultural storytelling. Elders recounted ancient desert crossings and river adventures. These stories weren't just entertainment, they were vital survival lessons passed down. Children absorbed every word. Through speech alone, history and navigational knowledge survived across generations without writing. Generations carried the march forward. Children grew, had families, and pressed on, turning a simple migration into a grand multi-generational legacy. Finally, they entered the Americas. Untouched, pristine, and teeming with life, 2 massive continents lay open and waiting for discovery. Dense, pine-scented forests greeted them. Warmer, greener, and full of strange new sounds, it was a welcome contrast to icy tundra. Strange creatures roamed this new world. Learning which animals were peaceful and which were lethal predators was crucial for survival. They built semi-permanent villages, resting after centuries of movement. It was a time to recover, thrive, and explore their new home. Yet curiosity burned bright. Scouts headed south toward warmer climates, continuing the eternal human urge to see what lay beyond. Following the Pacific coast, the ocean offered fresh water, abundant fish, and a natural highway southward through unfamiliar terrain. Rafting across coastal rivers became second nature. Each obstacle crossed proved how skilled and adaptable these early travelers had become. They cataloged new edible plants and crafted sharp tools from obsidian, building an immense library of practical wilderness survival knowledge. Steadily pushing south, humans adapted to every landscape. One original African group was now hundreds of distinct tribes across a hemisphere. Reaching South America, vast humid jungles awaited. It was a vibrant, buzzing environment entirely unlike anything faced before. Jungle air was thick and loud with hidden life. Carefully, step by step, they learned to navigate and thrive in rainforest ecosystems. Ahead rose the mighty Andes, jagged, towering peaks higher than any mountain range their ancestors had ever attempted to climb. Pushing up steep slopes, thin air made every breath hard work. Yet their relentless spirit carried them higher into the clouds. Over generations, human bodies physically adapted to high altitudes, a stunning display of evolution and human resilience in action. From frozen tundra to burning deserts and mountain peaks, human footprints now marked virtually every climate zone on Earth. Along coasts, temporary camps grew into permanent villages with thriving fisheries, rich cultures, and growing populations. What began as a tiny nomadic band in Africa was now a mosaic of complex, diverse cultures spanning 2 massive continents. While land routes expanded, coastal peoples turned toward the vast Pacific, preparing for the most daring ocean journeys in history. Crossing thousands of miles of empty ocean seemed impossible, but generations of seafaring experience gave them courage to try. They engineered double-hulled voyaging canoes, ocean-going vessels capable of surviving massive waves and long voyages. Without instruments, navigators read star paths, ocean swells, cloud colors, and bird flights to find tiny dots of land. Sailing into open water with no land in sight, they trusted their navigational skill and ancestral drive to explore. Days turned into weeks on empty ocean. Supplies ran low, but they paddled steadily forward, guided by stars and faith. Then, a green island peak appeared on the horizon. After weeks of empty sea, their extreme gamble paid off brilliantly. Landing on pristine shores, they achieved one of humanity's greatest feats, navigating open oceans using pure observation. Island by island, Polynesians settled Hawaii, Easter Island, and Tahiti, transforming the vast Pacific into an interconnected world. Eventually, voyagers reached New Zealand, one of the last landmasses on Earth discovered by humans. An incredible maritime accomplishment. Adapting to cooler climates and unique wildlife, the Maori developed specialized tools and rich traditions suited to their new island home. Pacific cultures flourished across thousands of oceanic miles, connected by brave voyagers who treated the sea as a highway. Earlier, another brave group crossed deep ocean channels to reach Australia, founding one of the world's oldest continuous cultures. They met strange, isolated wildlife found nowhere else. Kangaroos, emus, and koalas, evolving undisturbed for millions of years. Australia's dry, vast interior presented tough challenges, but indigenous peoples learned to read every secret of the land. Inventing boomerangs and mastering fire stick farming, they engineered clever solutions for thriving in dry conditions. They recorded their connection to land through cave art. Handprints and symbols preserved ancient knowledge permanently on stone. Generation after generation, elders taught children vital survival skills and sacred stories, preserving a deep cultural heritage. Their societies grew deeply connected to the earth, holding thousands of years of continuous history, language, and tradition. By now, human footprints span the globe. From African savannas to Arctic ice and Pacific islands, humanity had arrived everywhere. No environment proved too tough. Adaptability, teamwork, and curiosity allowed us to conquer every challenge nature presented. Driving it all was simple curiosity, the constant human urge to ask, what lies beyond that distant horizon? Our journey lit up the world step by step. Africa, Asia, Europe, the Americas, Australia, and oceanic islands across thousands of years. Every continent was walked, every ocean crossed. What began as one small band became a global human family. Today, all 8 billion of us trace our lineage back to those courageous early wanderers who dared to step forward. They did it on foot, on simple rafts, without maps or gear, just raw grit and determination passed across generations. Next time you travel, remember, our urge to explore isn't new. It's an ancient trait hard-coded into human DNA. You are a direct descendant of unstoppable explorers. That same spirit of curiosity lives inside you right now. Without GPS or weather forecasts, careful observation and shared knowledge guided early humans safely across the unknown. Clothing, shelter, boats, and storytelling were all invented by ordinary people trying to make a better life.
Look here, my child. These are the great beasts that roam the land. Our people have always followed them.
One day, you will join the hunt too.
Determination alone carried our ancestors across every mountain, desert, and sea on Earth. From African roots to global presence, we conquered the planet not with advanced machinery, but with courage and curiosity. Every mile was hard-won. The world was explored one step and one brave decision at a time. Today, geneticists and archaeologists analyze ancient DNA and artifacts to piece together the exact paths our ancestors walked. Though specific timelines are updated with new discoveries, the truth remains. Human curiosity mapped the entire globe. If our ancestors crossed ice ages with stone tools, what's stopping you from taking a bold leap into something new today? Whether learning a new skill or exploring new places, that same ancient spark of curiosity is waiting inside you. Humanity's great journey has come full circle, connecting every corner of Earth into one shared, continuous story. No written maps guided them. Only spoken stories, star navigation, and willpower carried down through countless generations. Every road you drive and flight you take follows paths originally blazed by ancient travelers thousands of years ago. This is how ancient humans explored the world, one step, one raft, and one ocean crossing at a time. If you enjoyed this global epic, like and subscribe. Comment below, which part of humanity's journey surprised you most?